I am Cem Uzun from Istanbul, Turkey. I am the past editor-in-chief of Balkan Medical Journal, and now I am the editor-in-chief of Balkan ORL, HNS. This is a new journal. We are establishing it recently. And I am currently the vice president of the European Association of Science Editors.
So you have a lot of experience in medical journals. What do you think the future holds for medical journals?
The most difficulties currently are in medical journals are finding proper reviews. For authors' respect, we cannot find enough time to read so many journals and their articles. So in future, maybe articles will be short, but linked to larger versions. And probably we will use artificial intelligence during the submission process as well as during the review processes. But however, open access movement is somehow good, but can also bring some problems especially for the authors. They produce all research and write the papers, but then they have to pay in order to get published. So this is a kind of problem. Recent talent after the pandemic is to publish as soon as possible at the first submission process, to review it open to everyone, so that you can reach faster to the readers. So this seems that in the future, most of the journals publish preprints at the beginning. However, they may still have some review problems, and this can be somehow good for the development of medicine. However, it can also be dangerous, I think, because seems to be weaker compared to the previous peer reviews. Because there are many journals and the peer reviewers have a big amount of workload. We have to find some solution to have better peer review process in the future.
What do you think is the future of repositories, even before we think of preprints?
In fact, these repositories will increase, I think, because the researchers will begin to learn to upload their data at the very beginning, probably at the planning stage, so that they can formulate their research in a correct way, so that it can be reproducible by the other researchers, and also they will not lose any time. I can give an example from myself. 20 years ago, when I did my first research, after 2 years spending a lot of time on a research, I found out that I made a major mistake, and then every data will gone away. So probably we have to submit our idea first, then shape it with the help of editors and others, then formulate and build our methodology, again open to everyone, and strengthen it. And also I think we need to connect other disciplines together with the medical field. And now, as an otolaryngologist, I need to work with other fields, but also I think we have to get some connections, not only in medicine, but also in the other fields like engineers, computer engineers, because we are in such an age that everything is developing so rapidly, and we need some, especially some colleagues from the computer engineering part. I think several journals from different fields, engineering, medicine, some subspecialty fields will come together and form a multidisciplinary journal to get more impact over the others.
So as an editor, then we won't be seeing articles submitted. Will we be looking out for articles, or will they still be submitted to the journals?
Depends on the, in fact, the quality of the journal. I think if you are a well-known journal and you don't need to search articles, you will get it. And with these repositories, of course, you can ask the authors to submit their work to your journal. However, in order to get interest, you have to learn in this field. And still the small journals will get problems, I think, in the future. Maybe more problems to find proper articles.
So with the change
Yes.
in research, with artificial intelligence and preprints and so much information out there, how does a journal make its mark? How can the journal get to the audience?
Yeah, the most important thing is the quality and trustful product afterwards. So if you can show them, you give something better than the others. For example, you provide, let's say, faster submission. You don't, for example, search for how was the reference system of the submitted manuscript, or how was the results were organized, but you do it in a proper way. For example, you can form better tables to show your results. You can help the authors to correct language of the paper, language editing. You can provide them statistic consultation if needed. And you can provide waivers for open access. And these extra support for authors may cause attraction, interest to your journal.
So in summary, do you still think there's a bright future for medical journals?
I am not sure for the bright future, especially for journals from small committees like our journal, like Karachi. Previous times were better, in fact, for us. Now there is an open access movement, and we don't have much differences from the others. Previously, we don't ask any money from the authors, and then we can have more papers, more quality papers. Now nobody asks about this, but if we can stand, if we are supported by our institutions, for example, we can still have some good future.
Thank you very much for those insightful and fascinating reflections on the future of medical journals. Thank you very much indeed.